Hello YouTube, US Minutman here again. Wanted to make a video about a controversial topic. The 1911 versus the Glock. I know this has been beat to death, just as much as an AR-15 and the AK-47 has. Uh, it's just something I kind of wanted to chime in on a little bit and just kind of give my personal opinion. Remember, this is just my opinion. I don't have facts. Um, I don't have quite a bit of facts, and I haven't shot both guns a lot. I've shot one more so than the other, and you know, you should have seen my video of my 1911, so you know I own a 1911. So I have shot that more than I've shot a Glock. I've only shot a Glock once. Well, actually, several times if you count a virtual simulation where they converted a Glock, which is really cool for defensive situations. But other than that, I've only shot live rounds once out of a Glock. But just thought I'd do a video on my opinion of the two firearms and which ones I prefer. So as you may see, I have a 1911 Remington R1. And for your guys' peace of mind, it is loaded. I did check it earlier, so safety check. So what caused me to get this? This was my first buy. The reason I got this was because I became very intrigued in World War II, and particularly the American side. And it started with aviation. I want to be a pilot at some point, and all that good stuff. So aviation, especially World War II aviation, always got to me. So I started getting into World War II, and then it branched to a lot of stuff. But in that time period, our military sidearm was the, I don't know if it was Colt or not. I'm pretty sure it was Colt, but it was the 1911 45. That was the sidearm, and I loved it, and I saw it in I think a few Steven Seagal movies, and I just liked the way it looked. It's a sexy looking gun. I like it's very thin gun, so it fit good in my hands, but it's also a full size gun. I just liked quite a bit about it, and then when I held it for the first time, I was like, oh man, I love it. Complemented with the trigger pull, other stuff as well. But I like it because it's very easy to shoot, and I always loved it. I feel like I can be more accurate with this than I can with the Glock, but that's just me. I don't think it's necessarily that the 1911 is more accurate, but I don't know specs, which one's more accurate, which one's not. I know 1911s typically have a longer barrel when you look at full size. I think Glocks have a little bit short barrel, so I think accuracy wise, you'd probably get more accurate shots with the 1911, but I'm not 100%. Like I said, this is my opinion. Also, the trigger is very, 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 very short on 1911s, and that's just typical. So, the time I shot the Glock, though, it was a 9mm. And this is another thing, is I'm talking 1911 45 Glock 9mm. That's kind of the standard, or typically what you would find. Most people buy 9mm Glocks, but they buy others as well now, and they're starting to get more popular in other rounds. That's what I'm kind of concentrating here. So which do I think is better? Well, I don't think it's quite black and white. I think it's a matter of opinion and reason behind the gun. I can shoot this one better from what I've shot. Now, if I practiced with the Glock, I'd probably be alright. But first impressions, I shot this better the first time I shot it than the first time I shot a Glock. And I even shot this beforehand, so I started getting to know how to shoot pistols and grips and sight radius, sight picture, all that stuff. So this was after that. So theoretically, I should have done better on the Glock, but I digress. So, as a personal uh, I like the 1911 because I think it shoots better. And it definitely uh, is a dream to shoot. Now, for a range gun, I can definitely say 1911 because of all that. It's just fun to shoot. It's easy to shoot. I can shoot targets with it really quickly. Um, it's a heavy gun. I like that. It's all steel. You know, they make some with aluminum frames now, and they've even made some with polymer frames. I know a lot of 1911 guys are probably cringing at that. But that's alright. I'm not necessarily a 1911 guy. I just love 1911s. Now, I'm not hating on Glock. I will recognize their reliability. And they're accurate. I'm not trying to say they're not accurate because they are. They're an accurate gun just as much as any modern gun. But their reliability is almost second to none. You know, I don't think you can't think of any other manufacturer that is known for their reliability as much as Glock is. And that's extremely important, especially if you're considering a carry gun. This 1911 here, it's reliable when maintained. And I get that a lot on the forums. So 1911 guys, they're very particular. They maintain their guns. They clean it every time they use it. You know, so they run great when they're maintained. But if they're not maintained, a 1911 is more likely to fail. You know, jam, double feed, whatever, than a Glock is. And you can look on the millions of videos out there that do torture tests between the 1911 and the Glock. So, um, so with that being said, would I trust this gun, like for self-defense? Yeah, because I clean it. I know how to run it. If it jams, I know how to take care of the jam or any sort of feeding issues. I can cycle the gun. I can rack slide. Um, but would I trust a Glock? Yeah, definitely, because of the reliability, second to none. Now, which would I choose? In a self-defense scenario, I'd probably pick up the Glock, just because I know it can run and run and run all day, and not really have a problem unless you have bad ammo. And malfunctions are going to happen with every gun, no matter how great it is. But I know it's more likely with the 1911 than it is a Glock. So sorry out there, you 1911 guys, if I'm dissing on the ultimate gun. But I love my 1911. I enjoy shooting it a lot more. I'm glad I have it. And I would never trade this for a Glock, ever, just because I love it so much, and I know I take care of it as much as I can. So I know this will run. I know this will do what it needs to do, and it's a very basic model, by the way. Pretty loose tolerances, I think, for 1911s. So they does pretty good. Now, that being said, I can't definitively say 1911 over Glock. To be honest, it's opinion. It is opinion based on certain facts of which one's better. This one's going to do better at certain things. Typically, they'll use 1911 style firearms for competitions and race guns. And, they're generally built off the 1911s. Very accurate, triggers great, shoot fast, they're heavy, so that you can not feel the recoil as much. I've never actually held a race gun, so I don't know if they're all steel or if they're trying lighter materials or whatnot, but I noticed that typically the high dollar race guns are built off of 1911s. Generally have a bigger mag well for double stacks, so they can shoot. I think they usually shoot 9mm, or some other. They usually don't shoot 45, I believe, too. So that's another thing. And 1911s now come in several calibers. So I wish I had a Glock to show you, but I don't. Maybe someday down the road I'll get one. Don't know what caliber I get, but I'll get one at some point, hopefully. Somewhere down the road I'll get one, and it'll be a good carry gun for me, I think. But like I said, no definitive answer, because it's kind of opinion. I'm going to choose, as a whole, a gun to own. If I only can own one, I'm going to choose a 1911 and just make sure I can carry it, because I know I can hit it. I just can't discount Glock's reliability. I mean, I can't discount that at all. So Glock has to win there. As far as the other performances go, I don't know. You could probably find accuracy tests for both the guns, see which one's more accurate, certain distances. I don't know. Also, it's probably going to depend highly on the round as well, and what type of ammunition you're using. If it's 45 versus a 9, or maybe you'll get a 9 version, 9 and 9, or maybe 45 and 45. So that just kind of depends. So, yeah. I'm going to say probably leaning slightly to 9/11 or 1911, but with no problem of owning a Glock, provided I can find a Generation 4, because I find that fits comfortably in my hand, whereas the previous generations don't. So that is my 2 cents on the 1911 versus Glock. And I know you guys probably have your opinions, and that's what they are. This is opinion. Because you're never going to find a clear winner. There's a lot of 1911 guys, a lot of Glock guys, and different applications for each gun. So yeah, so that's what I gotta say. This is 1911 slightly more favored for me, but I would definitely own a Glock, and I hope I will own a Glock at some point. So I will see you guys with my next video. Don't know what I'm doing yet, but leave comments, suggestions, any questions you got down in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you happen to be down there as well. And I will see you guys later.